She waited 3 years for this. She waited 3 years for this. 3 years of carrying that loss. 3 years of turning the memory into fuel. And on a blazing afternoon in Washington, D.C., Alex Eala walked onto the court at the William H. G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center and did more than win. She delivered a statement. The Mubadala City, D.C. Open. A WTA 500 with $1.64 million in prize money on the line. Olympic gold medalist Qinwen across the net. A stadium so full of Filipino supporters that it felt less like a first-round match and more like a homecoming. This was redemption, pure, electric, and years in the making. Go back to September 2023. Hangzhou, China. Alex Eala is just 18 years old, ranked 190th in the world, stepping onto the Olympic Tennis Center against the tournament's top seed, Zheng Qinwen, in front of a roaring Chinese crowd. Nobody gave her a chance. What unfolded over the next 3 hours and 11 minutes shocked everyone watching. Eala saved match points. She forced a third set. She pushed the future Olympic champion to the absolute edge. She was the only player in the entire tournament to take a set off Zheng. She still lost 6-1, 7-6, 5, 6-3. But she walked off that court with something Zheng could not take from her: respect and a quiet, burning fire. Fast forward to July 2026, and the story looks completely different. Eala has climbed to a career-high ranking of world number 28. She walked onto center court at Wimbledon and dismantled defending champion Iga Swiatek. In Berlin, she knocked out Elena Rybakina and Alina Svitolina back-to-back. She has beaten world number ones, Grand Slam champions, and the very best this sport has to offer. He is not the same player. Zheng, meanwhile, has been fighting her own battle. A right elbow injury forced surgery after Wimbledon 2025. First-round exits at the French Open and Wimbledon followed. Her ranking cratered from a peak of 4th in the world all the way down to 123rd. The Olympic gold medalist was no longer untouchable. But do not misread the danger here. Zheng had just reached the quarterfinals in Athens the week before. She was finding her form again. She was hungry. And a hungry champion with nothing to lose is one of the most dangerous opponents in sport. The stage was set. July 28, 2026. Stadium Court. The moment Eala stepped onto the court, you could feel it. This was not a typical first-round atmosphere. Philippine flags stretched from one end of the stadium to the other. Chants of "Alexa" bounced off the walls like thunder. Fans had made the trip from New York, Virginia, Maryland, some from even further, just to be in that building. From the very first point, something was different about her. The opening games were cautious. Both players probing, calculating, searching for any weakness. Zheng's serve, once a weapon that flattened opponents, still landed with authority. But Eala was reading it, anticipating, ready. The first set belonged to the Olympic champion. Zheng took it 6-4 after a stretch of clean, aggressive tennis that looked like the player who had once been ranked number 4 in the world. For a moment, the stadium held its breath. It felt just like Hangzhou, a war of wills, a test of nerve. Except this time Eala had another gear. In the second set, Zheng came out swinging. She cranked up her forehand. She started dictating rallies. She broke Eala and stormed ahead 4-3. The crowd went quiet. Nervous energy rippled through the stadium. Anyone else might have cracked. But Eala had been here before. Down against Swiatek at Wimbledon. Down against Rybakina in Berlin. She knows what it feels like to stare down the edge and choose not to fall. "I believe in myself a lot," she had said before the tournament. "It's a core value. It's one of the foundations of how I approach competition." She broke back at love. Held serve. Broke again. Suddenly, she was serving for the set. She took it 6-4. Momentum had flipped completely. The third set became a statement of control. Eala raced to a 4-0 lead. Zheng stopped the bleeding briefly, but Eala broke again and closed it out 6-1. Final score, 4-6, 6-4, 6-1. 1 hour and 42 minutes of pure fight after the early deficit. The building absolutely lost its mind. What happened next was something the DC Open had rarely seen. Fans collapsed into each other's arms. Tears ran down faces. Philippine flags waved in every direction at once. The chants were so loud the sound system almost could not compete. For these people, this was not just a first-round tennis match. It was vindication. It was proof. It was theirs. Days before the match, Filipino supporters had already swarmed Eala's practice sessions, following her from the players' lounge all the way to the back courts. They crowded outside the fencing just to catch a glimpse of her. One fan shouted, "We are so proud of her. Keep going, Alex." A young supporter added, "She's such an inspiration. I don't even play tennis, but I love the way she fights." That energy only multiplied when the real match arrived. Former US Open champion Andy Roddick had already called it before the tournament even started. "Eala Mania is fun," he said on his podcast. "When you have watch parties in arenas across an entire country for a fourth-round match, I'm in." He called what she is building a genuine movement, a section of tennis fandom that barely existed a few years ago, now fully alive, fully committed, and growing fast. On this July afternoon in Washington, that movement filled every seat in the building. Now, let's talk about what this victory actually means, because it goes far beyond revenge. Eala entered this tournament ranked 28th in the world, a career high. Here is the number that should have every Filipino tennis fan buzzing right now. She is defending just 70 ranking points across the entire North American hardcourt swing. 70. That means every single point she earns between now and the US Open is pure profit. No pressure to protect last year's results. Just clean open road ahead. A quarterfinal run in DC hands her 108 points, already more than she earned in this entire stretch last year. A semifinal is 195. A final is 325. Win the whole thing and 500 points flood into her ranking. Right now, just a modest gap separates her from the top 24. One deep run in Washington, and she could be knocking on the door of the top 20 for the very first time. And with the US Open seeding cutoff landing on August 24th, the timing is almost perfect. She is already inside the top 32, which means she is seeded. But the top 16, the top 8, those are no longer fantasies. They are targets. Her next test is Leylah Fernandez, the defending DC champion and 2021 US Open finalist. Neither will be easy, but Eala has already beaten Swiatek, Rybakina, Svitolina, and now Zheng. She has beaten the best players on the planet repeatedly. "I do not have a specific round where I say I need to reach the stage," Eala once said. "The way I approach any tournament is match by match, round by round. I want to get as far as I possibly can. The ultimate goal is to win." That mindset did not come from nowhere. It was forged in that Hangzhou semifinal. It was built in the long months of grinding back up the rankings. It was strengthened every time someone doubted whether her rise was real. And after that final stretch of dominance, after 3 years of waiting, she had her answer. The doubt is done. Here is what this victory truly represents. It proves Wimbledon was not a fluke. When she beat Swiatek on center court, some called it a moment. When she reached a career-high ranking, some wondered if she could hold it. Now, in her first match back from 2 weeks off, she went out and beat the Olympic gold medalist on a major hardcourt stage after trailing by a set and a break. That is not a moment. That is a pattern. It proves she can compete on any surface against anyone at any time. It proves that more than 115 million Filipinos have every right to believe. And it proves that what Andy Roddick called a movement is only just finding its stride. What happened in the second set at Hangzhou? She was asked after that Asian Games loss 3 years ago. "I'm very proud of myself for not giving up," she said. "I didn't want to go down without a fight." She never went down without a fight. She never stopped fighting at all. And now, in Washington, D.C., on a warm July afternoon, surrounded by the people who believed in her from the very beginning, Alex Eala has finally arrived. The North American swing is hers for the taking. The US Open is in her sights. The top 20 is within reach. And the best part? She is just getting started. Number that should have every Filipino tennis fan buzzing right now. She is defending just 70 ranking points across the entire North American hardcourt swing. 70. That means every single point she earns between now and the US Open is pure profit. No pressure to protect last year's results. Just clean open road ahead. A quarterfinal run in DC hands her 108 points, already more than she earned in this entire stretch last year. A semifinal is 195. A final is 325. Win the whole thing, and 500 points flood into her ranking. Right now, just a modest gap separates her from the top 24. One deep run in Washington, and she could be knocking on the door of the top 20 for the very first time. And with the US Open seeding cutoff landing on August 24th, the timing is almost perfect. She is already inside the top 32, which means she is seeded. But the top 16, the top 8, those are no longer fantasies.